Hello everyone, hope all of you are doing well. Now moving forward toward our data structure and algorithms laboratory, we have completed the three different assignment up to this, and now we are going to conduct the next assignment from the group B. Our all group B assignments are belonging to the tree data structures, and already we have covered one assignment. Now moving forward, we are going to conduct the next assignment, which is based on the binary search tree. So before going towards what is the title of assignment and what exactly we need to do, let's first understand what is the binary search tree. So binary search tree is nothing but here we are going to search an element in the tree data structure. That searching we are calling it as a binary search. So for this we are going to create a binary tree, and for the binary search the important and mandatory thing is nothing but we need a sorted array over here. So you can see in this example also we are having one sorted array like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 and 14, right? So by this sorted array we are going to construct an tree such that whenever we are going to search any particular element in that tree, then it will becomes very easy to search that. Now why we have go with this binary search tree usually, the thing is that if we are talking about the sequential sequential or we can say the linear search. So in the linear search we are starting the searching the element from the first element itself, and then we are searching it one by one sequentially up to the last element. So what happened in that case? For example, if your element is lie at a first position itself, then you can found the element at the first position, then it will give a best case scenario. It will give a best case scenario. But if the searching element is at the last part of the array, or it is the last element of that given array, then you have to traverse all the array. In the sequential search we have to visit every part of that array, and then we'll found the element at the last position. So what we have done, all the n element we need to be scanned over here, like 14. If we want to search the element 14, then we have to visit every element like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, and at the end we are getting our element. So here it gives the worst case scenario like the complexity of big O of n. In the best case scenario, like if element is found at the first position itself, then it will give a big O of 1 as a best case scenario complexity. And if we are talking, if the element is at the middle position, then we can say it is like nearly about the n by 2, right? So this is what about the sequential search. And if the size of array is too much long, if the more number of elements are present in the array, in that case it goes in the worst case scenario. And to come out with these problems, we can have the binary search tree. So what can be the complexity of the binary search tree? Then it is the log n. You can say the complexity of this binary search tree is big O of log n, or theta of log n, if we are talking about the average case scenario, right? So this is what the complexity we are having. How it comes? Okay, how it comes? So very basic thing that we are executing this binary search tree like divide and conquer strategy. Like so we are dividing the given array into the different parts, and then we are solving them and we are getting the solution. So it follows the divide and conquer strategy over here. What exactly it does? So here we are storing the element, like you can see that we have created the tree of this binary search tree, and now if we want to find the particular element, for example 10. So as the array is sorted, and we know that after the root we have to check the 10 with the root element. If my root element is less than the searching element, means we need to search that atom at the right side of that tree. If my searching element is 4, so we know that root is 8 and the 4 is less than that root element, then we have to search it on the left side of the array. So in this way the search becomes very easy, and there is no need to scan the whole array, as we are comparing it with the root element, and if we found it is less, then we have to search it at the left side array. If it is greater, then we have to search it at the right side array. So directly the array size gets half. So if we think that the array is containing 100 elements, and if we are saying that we are applying the linear search over there, then big of 100 will be a worst case scenario. But if we are talking about the binary search, and as array gets divided into two parts according to the middle element, then we can say we have to scan only the 15 elements. So that much efficient the binary search algorithm is. Now here you can see that the 8 is a middle element, we can say the root element. So what about the next element? Suppose the next element is the 4. 4 is less than 8, so we have included the 4 here. If 12 is less than 12 is greater than 8, so it is on the right side. Now 2 is less than 8, it is again less than 4, so it is on the right of the 4. 6 is the less than 8, but it is greater than 4, and that's why it is on the right side of the 4, and 2 is on the left side of the 4. Same way 10 is the less than 10 is the greater than 8, but it is less than 12, so it should be on the left side, and the 14 is greater than 8, but it is also greater than 12, so it should be on the right side of 12. So likewise we are generating the trees. So same concept we have to use for our assignment. So let's see what is the title of assignment is. So according to the syllabus, of SPPU and the data structure and algorithms laboratory, and we are thinking about now group B assignment. So this assignment we have already covered in the previous session. Now we are conducting the assignment like the beginning with an empty binary search tree. Construct a binary search tree by inserting the values in the order given. So whatever the order value are given and whatever the value will be entered by user, according to that we need to be construct a binary search tree. After the constructing a binary tree, what operations we have to perform? Like insert a new node in that tree, find the number of nodes in the longest path from the root, means we have to find out what are the longest path there, and in that longest path how many number of nodes are there. So next is minimum data value found in the tree. So what is the mean value of the tree? That is the thing. And the next one is change a tree so that the rows of the left and right pointers are swapped at every node. So every node the left and right pointer we have to swap. So what happened here? The greater elements will lie on the left side of the root element, and the smaller element will lie on the right side of the element. So we can say it like a mirror image, and also we have to do the search operation over there. So these are the different things are given in the assignment, so we have to execute all these things. So this is what the title, and we are going to execute this title over here, right? So moving here, but whenever we are talking about the minimum element in the given binary search tree, so by looking this binary search tree we directly come to know that extreme left element, extreme left means the 4 is the left of 8, again 2 is the left of 4, and there is no left element for 2, right? So 2 is what at the extreme left. So whatever the element lie at the extreme left, that will be considered as a minimum element from that tree, right? So this concept will be required while the execution of these things. So directly moving towards the code, and this is what the code we are having. So this is the code that we need to be execute, okay? But as usual, what I am doing is I am taking the printout and writing some tree structures over there, so it becomes easy to understand. So I am directly opening that here, and this is what the concept I have write it down on the paper according to the coding. I have displayed something over here so that we can easily understand the code. So we'll directly do this. So it is having the same title, that we have to start with the empty binary tree and then we need to construct it, then we have to insert some nodes over there likewise. So not wasting much time, we'll directly move towards this. So initially we have to include the header file that will be required to execute this program, that you all of you know we have included the header file. Now here we have created one class set as a node. This class node is having the information of the node that we are going to store in the tree. So each node will have some field, and that field is like that information field, is whatever the information we are having according to that node, that information we are going to store over here. And then we are having the left and right pointer of this. So with that we are also having the left and right pointer. So you can see here the left and the right pointer we are having here. So node where we are going to store the data, that is information, and with that we are having the left child of that node and the right child of the node. So we are accessing this. If we want to access this structure, then we can access it with the start root or a pointer root. It is the type of class node. Now again one more class we have defined, that is nothing but the class BST. So what is that class BST is? That class BST, that is nothing but a binary search tree. So one class we have defined for the node. Now one more class is there that is going to be defined for the node BST, and that is for the binary search tree. Now what are the contents of this class? So contents are like that. We are having the node pointer root. So pointer root is what? It is the class node type. So after that we have declared some function over here like void insert function to insert the new node in our tree. Then next is display function. In insert function we are passing the two pointers, that is node pointer, one parameter of the type node pointer, another parameter is also of the type node pointer. Then next is void display, that is to display the tree. Again here we are passing two parameters, one is the node pointer type and another parameter is of the integer type. Next is mean function, that will be show the minimum element from this whole tree. To find the mean element from the BST, that we are going to use mean function. Then we are also finding the height of the tree. That height of the tree will say what is the different number of levels we are having in the tree. After that void mirror. Mirror is nothing but if we want to swap the left and right element, so in that case we are going to use the mirror function. Next is pre-order, in-order and post-order traversal. So you all know that these are the three different tree traversal we are having, that is in-order, post-order and pre-order. So what is the pre-order? We have to display the root first, then left element and then right element. What is the in-order? We have to display the left first, then right, then root and then right element. And what is the post-order? We have to display first the left element, then right element and at last the root element. So these are the three tree traversal technique: pre-order, in-order and post-order. So we are going to display that also. Now let's see the different. After that one more function is there like search. That operation also we have to perform because it is given in title that we need to search an element. So also one more function we have declared here, that is the search function, where we are passing two parameter again. One is of the type of node pointer and another is the integer. To search an element from the given BST, we have to do this. Now as we are in the class BST, so here we have declared the constructor of that class, and the constructor, you all of you know that the constructor we are using to initialize the different variables, right? So here we are initializing the root that we have declared here. So initially our root will be null. So initially we are initializing the root to the null by using this constructor of the class BST. And now here our class ends. all of you know that every time when we are executing the program, it always start with the main. The compilation is start from the main function, right? After main, it is going to be in the different functions that are declared. So initially, when we are talking about the main, so return type of this main is given as an integer. So means it is returning something in the form of integer. Now here some variable declaration we have done according to the requirement. So some variable are of the type integer like choice and num, and one object we have created of the class BST. So you all know that BST is the class that we have seen previously. So we have created one object BST of this class. Again we have declared one temp variable of the type node temp, that is nothing but the another class we have declared here, node temp. So this is what the type of node temp. And next is we have to display the menu, that which kind of operations we are going to perform. That menu is displayed to the user. Okay, so we are going to perform some operations on the BST, like the operation 1, insert an element, then display the element, display the minimum value, then height of the tree, mirror of that node, pre-order, in-order, post-order, number of nodes in the longest path, then searching operation on that, and after that quit. So total 10 choices we are giving to the user, and 11th will be to quit this menu, right? So these are we are displaying some choices over there, and then we are asking the user to enter their choice, and that choice will be taken in integer variable named as a choice. Now that choice will get passed as a parameter to the switch case, and all of you know the working of the switch case, that how the switch case is working, that we can directly jump to that particular function that is given by the user. So case 1 is stands for the insert an element. So here we are going to call the insert function to insert a particular node in a tree. So for that, first we need to create a node. We have to declare our new node. So here temp, in the temp variable we are creating our new node, and now that temp node we have to assign in our tree, right? We need to insert that temp node in our tree. So in the temp node we have created a new empty node, and after that we have to take the value, that what number we want to accept for that inserted node. That value we are going to take over here from the user, and we'll place that value in the info field of this. So where is the info field? Here in the middle. So in the info field we are going to store the value of that temp node, and then we are going to insert that temp node in our BST, in our binary search tree. So how we are going to access the function of that binary search tree? By using the object of that tree, right? So object of that class is BST, and the insert is the function of the class BST. So by using the object of that class, we can call the function where we are passing the root element, and also we are passing the temporary. So whatever the data we need to insert, we are passing it as a parameter to the insert function. So here the insert function will get called. We are going to see the functionalities of every function after, but we'll first finish with the switch cases, and then we'll move toward each and every function. And once we have done the execution, we have to break this case, so that again the main menu will get displayed, because it is running in the switch case, right? Now case number 2 is we have to display the BST, binary search tree, whatever the nodes are inserted. Now I want to display that nodes. So for that purpose we are going to use this display binary search tree, and here we are calling the display function. Again the same way we are going to use the object of the class BST, and here we are passing the root of that BST, and another parameter is of the form integer, that is nothing but 1. Why 1? That will come to know when we are going to see the definition of the display, what is the meaning of 1. But temporarily we are passing it as a 1, that is nothing but the label is starting from 1. Okay. Now next is we have to end this, and we need to break it so that the next menu will be displayed. Next is third case, in which we are going to find out the minimum value in the given tree, and that is given by the min function. So whatever the minimum value of that tree, that we have to display over here, right? The minimum value of the tree we need to be displayed over here. And what is the next thing? For that we have to call the minimum function over here, and that minimum function will return the minimum element from that tree. Now what is the next case? In the next case we need to find out the calculate the height or a depth of the binary search tree. So what is the height of the binary search tree? For that we have to use one variable that we have declared as a h, that will return the height of the tree, and then we have to print that h. So whatever the height function that we are calling by using the object of BST, that will return something as an integer value, that is nothing but how many levels are there, and that levels is nothing but the height of the tree that we are going to print over here. After that, the case number 5, that is the mirror we have to create for the tree. That is, we are going to swap the left and right child of the tree, or right subtree and the left subtree we can say. Then BST mirror means this mirror functions we are calling over here. That mirror function will swap the role of left and right child. Every left and right child will get swapped for every root node, and then we have to display such a tree after the swapping. Then what is the next? After that we can also apply the pre-order and the post order on that tree. Pre-order, post order and in order. So respectively the function defined, if the user want to see the pre-order traversal, then call the pre-order function. If they want in order, then call the in order function in the same way by creating by using the object of that class. And if they want post order traversal, then we can call the post order function over here. What is the next case is that case number 9, where we are going to find out the number of nodes in the longest path from the root element. So from the root, if you want to find out the longest path, so for that first we need to find out the height of the tree. And whatever the height of the tree, that is nothing but this was the longest path will be there from the root to that particular node, and in that node how many elements are there that we need to be displayed. So for that we will call only the height function, that is nothing but the how many number of levels are there, that will define the number of nodes also. After that, the case number 10 is for the searching an element in the given BST, where we are asking the user that which element they want to search, and I am calling that element as a search data, and that search data we are taking from the user, and that we are passing as a parameter to this search function, and that search function will start searching it, and it will return if the element is found or not. And the next case is the 11, that is nothing but exit. If you want to exit from the main menu, then we can exit, and if we are putting any choice instead of 1 to 11, then it will give as a wrong choice. Any other choice than 1 to 11, then it will display as a wrong choice. So this is all about the main menu we have covered. Now what is the insert? Now every operation we are going to see in detail. So starting with the insert function, and now how we are writing the definition of insert function. So you can see here we have written that return type of this insert function will be void, and after that we have written the BST and the scope resolution operator. Why we have done this? Because the insert we have declared in the class BST, right? The declaration of this function is in the class itself, like BST, but we are writing the definition of that function outside of the class, and while we are doing this, in that case we need to use the scope resolution operator. So BST is nothing but the name of the class where we have declared the function insert, and now we are writing that function outside of the class, and that's why we are making the use of scope resolution operator. So it is to specify the definition of the function outside the class. Now what are the two different parameters we are passing? Like a node tree and the node new node. So whatever the new node we want to insert in our tree, that we are passing as a parameter. Now if the root node, if my root is equal to null, means no node is available in the tree, our tree is totally empty. So in that case, whatever the first entry will be done by user according to the value of element, that will becomes the root node. Okay, for example, if my root is null and the user is entering the 50 as a node, which is created as a new node, so that node will becomes the root node because there is no root available previously. So make this 50 as a root node. So how we are going to make it as a root node? So as we are calling this as a new node, so make the new node info as the root of info, make the new node as a root, and the root of info will become the info of new node. With that, make its left child as a null. With that, make it as a right child as a null. So the first node inserted will become always a root node. If we are inserting the first node, then that will always become a root node, and we can display the message that the root node is get added now. And here we have to return. Once our node is inserted, we have to return. Else means if the root is not null, then how the process will be done. So if my node is not a root node is not a null, means some element is present at root node, right? So what is the next thing? If node is already present in the tree, right? So if tree of info is equal to new node of info, means whatever the tree node is present and whatever the information is available with that node, and whatever the node I am inserting, whether they are same, means already the 50 is present over there. If it is present, then we have to display that message that already the element is available in the tree, element is already in the tree. So we cannot insert the same value over there, right? Again we are returning, when already the node is present. So how we will come to know the node is present? So we are comparing the info of the tree node and the info of a new node, and if it is matched, then we can say the element is already there. Else means we are going to check in the if part. Again the next condition we are going to check. Now the node the root node is available, with that there is no duplication. Now what is the next? Now we have to check for whether my inserting node is less than the root node or it is the greater than root node. So that should we insert it on the left side or should we insert it on the right side, that we have to decide. So how we are going to check that? So it's very easy. We have to compare that tree of info, whatever the node is present over there, that node information in that node is whether greater than a new node information or it is less than. So we are checking here whatever the root element is present in the node, whatever the root value is present over there, that is greater than my new inserted value. If it is yes, if the root is greater than a new node value, then we need to be insert it on the left side, right? If it is greater, the root is greater than your inserting element, then the inserting element should be lie on the left side because your inserting element is less than root node, right? So in that case we need to be insert it on the left side of the tree. Again, before inserting into the left side of the tree, we have to check if the tree of left is equal to null. If tree of left is not equal to null, then again we have to call the insert function, because on the left side if element is present, so we cannot assign the node over there, because we need to find out again whether that node is less than or greater than of that new node. Okay, again we have to calculate that. So again what we are going to do, again we call the insert function, and in that insert function whatever the left node we find, we'll pass that left node and whatever the new node that we want to insert. So this will becomes the 2 parameter. Now this tree of left will becomes the root now, means the second element will becomes the root now, right? Else means what? If that tree of left is null, means there is no left element is present, so we can directly assign my new node as a left node of that root node and make its left as a null, make its right as a null, means that newly assigned node will have the left as a null and right as a null. And then we have to say that node is added to the left. Why to the left? Because it is smaller than the root node, and that's why we have added our node to the left and we have to return that. Now this scenario is given by the example. For example, this is your root node, right? this is only the one node, that is a root node. Here we are calling it as a tree node. Now we want to insert the node 25, right? That is, we have created new node 25. Now I want to insert that node. So what I will check first, whether a root node is null. No, root node is not null because the node 50 is available, that is the root of the tree, right? So it is not null, means this condition is not satisfied. Then next is, if tree info is equal to new node info, so 25 is equal to 50. No, means there is no duplication again, so this condition is again not satisfied. Now next we are going to check whether my 25 is less than 50. Yes, it is less than 50, so we have to insert the 25 onto the left side. We have to insert the 25 onto the left side. So before inserting the 25 onto the left side, we have to check whether 50 is having some elements on the left of it. So how we are going to check? If the tree of left is not equal to null, means there are some elements are present on the left side of that 50. If it is present, then we have to call the insert function with that left node and the new node. But if it is not the case, means the left of this node tree is null, like this. Here the tree node is 50 and its left is null, right? So we can insert the 25 to the left of 50. So you can see that the 25 is inserted to the left of 50 because what? The left of 50 is null, and the new node is inserted over here. And now what is the thing is given? Tree of left of left. This is the tree node. Tree of left will becomes the null. Same time the tree of left of right. This is the tree of left of right. It should becomes the null. So these both are pointers we have to set to null. Same scenario we have to follow for the case of inserting the node at the right side. How? Now here we are checking the condition, like if the root node is greater than my new node, then we have to insert it on the left side. Else means what? If your root node is less than the new node, that will goes into the else part. Here is the else part, right? So in this case we are going in the else part, and in the else part we are moving towards the right, because here the new node is greater than the root node, and as the new node is greater than root node, we have to insert it onto the right side. So same way we need to check. If the tree of right is not equal to null, means some elements are present on the right side. If it is present, then again call the insert function with that new right element and the new node. Else means the tree of right is null, then what we can do? We can insert the element at that position. So you can see that now I want to insert the node 75 as a new node. So I will check. Here we are going to check that tree of right is null. Yes, it is null. So what we can do now? Then in that part we are executing this else. So tree of right is equal to new node. So assign that new node to the tree of right. So here we have assigned. With that same tree of right of left, we have to make it as a null. Tree of right of right, we have to make it as a null, and we have to say that the node is added to the right. The node is added to the right, as it is the greater node, so that's why we have added it to the right, and we have to return with this. So here our insertion is finished now. So you can see that in this way we have inserted the 50, 25 and 70, right? Again suppose we have to insert some node. Now suppose the new node is 30, and again one more, if we are talking about the new node 30, so we have to check it with the root element 50. So 30 is less than 50, yes, so we need to be insert it onto the left side. But at the left side node is already present, so what thing we have to execute? This thing, that insert tree of left of new node. So in the insert, which parameter will get passed? The 25 and the new node 30. So we are passing the parameter 25 and 30, and again we are going to check whether the 25 is less than 30, because 25 is my root now. So 25 is greater than new node, that is 30. No, it is not greater than, it is less than. So we have to execute the else part. So we'll come in the else part and we'll check whether the tree of right is equal to null. So 25 the right of 25 is null? Yes, it is null. So we have to insert that. If the tree of right is not equal to null, means we are going in the else part, because the tree of right is null. So that's why we'll go in the else part and we'll assign the new node to the right of this tree. So here the new node is assigned 30 because it is less than 50 but it is greater than 25. So we have to make it as a right child of the 25. Same way if we are talking about the 80. So what we'll check? Whether the 50 is less than 80, yes it is less than, and 80 is greater than, so we have to insert it onto the left side. Then we have to insert it on the right side. Then again we'll check whether another element is present on the right side. Yes, there is the 75. So as the 75 is on the right side, so we have to pass 75 and 80 as a parameter to this function. Insert tree of right as a 75 and new node as a 80. And again we have to check whether the 75 is less than new node. 75 is greater than new node? No. So again we have to go in the else part, and here we have to check whether tree of right is not equal to null. No, it is null. So again we are going in the else part, and here we are assigning the new node, and with that we are making its left and right child as a null. So this is what the working of insertion function. After that, what is the next thing? We have to display the tree. So how we are going to display the tree? In the displaying of the tree, we are passing the parameter as a node pointer, whatever the tree root node that we are passing, and one parameter as a int level. So whenever we have called this function in the main function, we have passed the value of this display as a 1. So I have told you that the meaning of 1 is nothing but level. So initially the level is 1, that we have mentioned over here, that we want to display the tree level wise, and initially my level is 1. So how we are going to execute that? Now if pointer is not equal to null, means my main node, root node is not a null node, means we are having something in that tree. So we have to display the pointer of right at the level plus 1. We call the display function to display the right subtree, and the level will becomes level plus 1, means the parameter that we are passing here is what? 1 plus 1 as a 2, right? So whatever the element is present at the level number 2, this is what the level number 1, at the level number 2 whatever the element are present, we need to be displayed that, right? So pointer of right, this is what the pointer of right. So initially we will display the 75, not exactly the 75, but we are calling the function display. Again the display 75 will check whether it is null. No. So again we will think about the 80, again we will think about the 100. So level wise, first we will display the 100, then 80, then 75, and then again we will come to the root node. So level wise we have displayed the 100, 80 and 75. If pointer is equal to root, now we are coming to the 50, and yes it is root pointer, so we have to display that root pointer here. So we are printing the root. Else means your pointer is not a root, then we are moving towards the left of this, that pointer is not a root, means if we are coming to the 75 and my 75 is not a root, right? But at the left side of the 75 there is also one more element like a 60. So we have to consider that all things, and if there is no roots are there, for example from 100 we are coming to 80, on the left of the 80 there is no node, right? So we have to print the blank spaces over there. So we are adding the blank spaces here level wise, right? After that, like this, first by adding the blank spaces we have mentioned the 100. After adding the blank spaces we have written the 80. After adding the blank spaces we have displayed the 75. Likewise, after that, mentioning the blank spaces, we have defined the 60. Then we have defined the root element with the element 50. Then again 30, 25 likewise. So in this way our tree will get displayed over here. And once we have displayed all the pointers on the right of the tree, the same way we have to call the display function for the left of the tree. right? Pointer left. So left of the tree means 25, 20, 30. These again we have to display. So after the 50, when we comes to the left, so we'll display 30 first. Means the right function will get called first. Then we'll print the root and then we'll go towards the left function. So we'll display the left subtree over here. So in this way our tree will be get displayed. Then next is when we want to find the minimum value node in the tree. So I have already told you that we have to move toward the extreme left of the tree. At that point we'll get the minimum node. For example, what is the extreme left of the tree? Now this tree is not displayed vertically, it is displayed horizontally, but we have to assume it to be vertically, and when we are assuming the vertically, then this 20 is at the extreme left and which is the smallest element in the tree, right? So what are the conditions that is need to be checked over here, right? For this again we are using the scope resolution operator, because that function we have already declared in the class BST, and we have declared the one pointer temp, node pointer temp, and now we are checking whether my root is equal to null. Means if there is no node is inserted in the tree, so we cannot say the minimum element in the tree, so we can display the tree is empty. Else means some nodes are present over the tree, then what we'll do, we'll assign the root as a temp. We'll say my root element is my temp element, and we'll move that temp of left one level below until we are reaching to the null node. So while our temp is not becomes null, we are going to move our temp. So temp is equal to temp of left. Initially the temp is here, then we are moving it here. So temp of left is null? No. Again come here, temp of left is null? Yes. So here we are getting the temp of left as a null, and that element will be my minimum element. So as the minimum value of the node will lie at the left subtree, search the minimum node towards the left only. So that's why we are traversing the left. If you want to print the max node, so for maximum node you have to traverse the right subtree in the same way, right? And the last node, that is the leaf node at the extreme left, will be the minimum node. So initially this is my temp, which is nothing but root. I am saying temp of left. We are getting here again our temp is equal to temp of left means temp is this. So again the temp of left is null? No. So again a temp will be this element. Now we'll check temp of left is null? Yes. So 20 is my what? Minimum element. So we are returning the temp of info. So once our temp is here, so what is the temp of info? 20. So it will return the 20 like this. Now next is the height function. What this height function says? In this height function we are going to call the we are going to find out the different levels in this height function. So how? Let's check. So here we have declared the two different variable, height of the left and the height of the right, ht left and ht right, height left, height right. Okay. Now we'll check if root is equal to null, means there is no no nodes are present in the tree is empty, so in that case the height will displayed as a 0. Else if root of left is also null and root of right is also null, means only one single node is present and that is the root node, then we have to display height as a 1. So in that case it is returning as a 1. If the single root node is present in the tree, then we have to return it as a 1 height. Otherwise means if root is also not null and the root of left and root of right is also not null, so in that case what we have to do, we have to calculate the height of left subtree as well as the height of right subtree by calling the same function recursively. So we are calling the height of root of left, height of root of right over here, and after the A we will check whether the height of left tree is greater than the height of right tree. Here we are checking if the height of right is greater than or equal to height of left, then we have to return the height of right plus 1. If height of right is greater, then we have to return the height plus 1. If it is less, then we have to return height of left plus 1. If the right subtree is greater, then return it by adding 1. If the left subtree is greater, then return it by adding 1. So that will becomes the height. As we are saying that levels are start from level 0, 1, 2, 3. Likewise, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. So in that, how many nodes are there? If we are talking about that, how many nodes are there? So we have to consider that there will be a 4 node as the levels are 3 likewise. Now next is mirror. So what we are going to do in the mirror exactly? In the mirror you can see here what is the scenario. This is what the root node 50, root node will remain same, only the we are doing the swapping of left and right child. So here the 25 becomes the right child now and 75 becomes the left child. So you can see that the 25 and 75 are swapped, then 20 and 30 are also swapped, then 60 and 80 are also swapped, and 100 is also swapped. Initially it is on the right side, now it is on the left side of the 80. So this swapping we have to done, that we can call it as a mirror. Okay, so what we are going to do here, it is very simple, because as we are going to use the recursive function. So again we have mentioned a mirror and we have passed the tree, and initially we are saying we have created one node called as a temp, and we are checking if my root node is not null. If root node is not null, then only we can have the mirror of that tree. So we'll check temp is equal to root of left. What we are saying, we are giving the root of left. This is the root of left, that is 25. We are assigning it as a temp. Then root of left is equal to root of right. So we'll assign the whatever the root of left is here 75, that will be assigned. Root of right is 75, so that will be assigned as a root of left, and whatever the root of right is there, that will be assigned with the temp value. Temp is containing the 25, so 25 will becomes now the root of right. So this swapping we are doing here by using one temp variable. We are doing the swapping of the left and right child, and this swapping again we have to do for the 25 also, as it is having the left and right child. So for that recursively we are calling the mirror of root of left, mirror of root of right. Again will come here, then we'll check if they are not null. This root is null 20. If my root is now 20, so we'll check if they are having left and right, then need to be swapped. If they don't have, then no need to be swapped. So likewise we are applying the mirror function recursively on every left and right child here to make a swapping. So this is what the mirror we can say for the binary search tree. So here we can generate the mirror image of this binary search tree. Now the next function is the pre-order, that three traversal we have to perform, like pre-order, then the post order is there, and the in order. So what is the pre-order is? In the pre-order we have to just first print the root, then left child and then right child. So in that case initially we are going to assign one pointer, that is to be the first node, and we are going to check whether that pointer is equal to null or not. If it is not, that means the nodes are present in the tree. Then we have to print the nodes that are available in the tree in the fashion like root, left and right. So in that case initially the root is root itself. So in that case we have to print that root node like this. We are printing the root node, then we are giving the tab so that we can differentiate between these different values. Then after that we are calling this pre-order again repeatedly on the next node. So initially after printing the node root, then we have to move towards the left tree, right? So we are going towards the left subtree. Again on the 25 we are going to apply the pre-order function. So initially the 25 will get printed, again we'll move toward the left child of that 25. If there is no left child, then we have to perform the right we have to perform the pre-order on the right child, right? So after that we have to apply the pre-order function recursively on the right subtree. If there will be a right node, then we have to print that. Again we have to move towards the root node, and again we have to print the right child likewise. So while printing the this given tree only this much, so how it is going to be print? First it will print 50, that is nothing but root itself. Then we are going to apply the pre-order on 25, but as 25 left and right childs are null, so no need to move further. We can directly print a 25 as a left child of the root node, and again we are going to apply the pre-order on the right child 75, but again the left and right is null, so no need to move further, and we can directly print a 75 as a right child of the node root 50. So in this way we have it will get printed like 50, 25 and 75 like this. So this is what the pre-order function. Slightly changes we have to do for the next two function. As we are talking about the in order, so in the in order function we are printing the left root first, then the root node, and then we are printing the right node. So this is what the left node, then root node and the right node. In this fashion we have to print the array. So same example if we are taken, then what is the left node? Left of your root is 25. So we are going to apply the in order on the 25 first. If there is a left and right child are null, so we have to directly print the 25. Else we have to print the, after that we have to print the root node itself, that is 50, and then we'll move towards the right subtree of that, that we are going to apply the in order on the right subtree again, and we are printing the node likewise. So same functionality will be there, only you have to first call the in order on the pointer of left, then we have to print the root, and then again we have to apply the in order on the right subtree likewise. And with slightly changes in the same function in the post order, here we are just printing the left node first, then the right node, after that root node. So root node will be at the last. So if we are talking about this example again, so we have to perform the post order on the 25, that is the left child, that is a left. As their left and right are null, so we can directly print the 25. Then we have to perform the post order on the right subtree, that is 75. Again the left and right child are null, so we can directly print that 75, and after that we have to print the root node, that is 50. So in this way it is going to be displayed, right? Now now we have to apply the post order function recursively here, first on the left child, then we have to apply the post order function recursively on the right child, and we have to apply then we have to print the root node here. Now for example, if 25 is again having the left node as a 20, so how it will give the answer? If 25 is having the left node as a 20 and the right node as a 30, so when we apply the post order on 25, then again we have to go towards the left first. Left means 20 will get print, then we have to go towards the right, that is 30 will get print, and then we have to go toward the root means 25 will get print likewise. So we have to traverse in such a case to calculate the pre-order, post-order and in-order traversal. And after that the last function is there, that is a search function we are going to apply. Like whatever the element is given by the user, we need to search it in the our data structure BST. So we are writing the definition of the search, and in that we are passing the search data as our parameter, means whatever the data we want to search, that we are passing over here, that we have collected from the user, and we are checking for the first pointer itself. If it is found at the root node itself, then we have to say that element is found. If it is not found at the root node, how we are checking whether it is at the root node? Root is shown by pointer here, as we have mentioned it as a PTR. So PTR is showing the root node. So info at the root node is equal to my searching data, then we have to print that as an element found. Otherwise we have to move towards the else part. That in else part again we are checking one condition, like if that pointer info is less than my searching data, whatever the root node is there, the root node is less than my searching data, and if its pointer of right is not equal to null, means searching data is greater, so we have to search it on what? On the right side. At the same time, if the right of that root node is not equal to null, then what we have to do? We have to apply the recursive search function onto the right subtree with the searching element. Means what? If searching element is greater than root and the right subtree is available means as your search data is greater than root, means we have to search it on the right, but we have to check whether the right subtree is available or not. So for that we are checking the condition if PTR of right, that is pointer of right, is not equal to null, means yes, the right subtree is available, so we can apply the search operation over there. Again calling the same function. Else if again we are checking that if a root is greater than searching element, means the searching element is less than root. In that case we have to search it on the left side. So first, for that we are also checking one condition, that whether the left subtree is available. If pointer of left is not equal to null, means a left subtree is available, and at that time we have to call the search function again by passing the parameter of left subtree and the search data. In this way we are doing this, and if this is also not the condition, then else means the element is not the root at itself, element is not available at the right side, element is also not at the left, then we have to print that the element is not found. So this is what the case, this is what the scenario of this whole BST structure. So all functions are covered. Now this is what the example of that searching. Like we want to search the data 60, right? We want to search the data 60. So we'll check initially with the root node whether my 60 is less than or greater than. So first condition we'll check this one, that info search is less than search data, means 60 is here, the root node is 50, right? So 60 is what? It is a greater than 50, right? 60 is what? Greater than 50. So we are going to check on the right side of there again. Here we will check first whether 60 is greater than 50. So answer is yes. In the first case it is not satisfied because the 60 is not less than 50. So the answer is no. So we have to check for the next condition, that 60 is greater than 50, means here yes, 60 is greater than 50. Then answer will be yes. Then we have to search at the right subtree. So then we have to move where? At the right subtree here, and if the match found, then we have to print that element. So we are moving in the right subtree, again we'll come at the 75, then we'll check whether 60 is less than 75, yes, then we have to need to search it at the left subtree of the 75 likewise. So this is what the thing that we are going to search over here, and this all operations we have applied on the BST. Now we are going to execute this program. So as I am using the online editor to execute this, so we are going to execute it on online editor. So let's execute it. So here is the online editor, and this is what the program that we want to execute. So this is our program. Now we have to run this. We have to run this program. So here is our program, and we have compiled it. So now these are the operations that we are going to perform, right? Insert element, display, mean value, find, then height, mirror, likewise. So I am saying I want to insert the element, because if I mention it as a 2, then what is the message is there? Display BST is blank, because there is nothing, right? There is nothing. If I say 3, then 3 is empty, like message, right? So for that, if I am saying the 9 is the operation, then it is mentioning that the longest path is 0, because no nodes are there, right? So what we need to do is we have to run this program by inserting the element. So I will say first, and which value we want to insert is 50, for example the 50. Now after inserting the 50, the message is displayed that root node is added. So whatever the first node we are going to add it, that will be considered by default as a root node. So 50 is my now root node. So whatever the value I will insert after that, that will be either sent to the left or they will be inserted to the right, depending upon their sequence. So now if I say display this, that is 2, then you can say the root is displayed as a 50. Now again I am saying I want to insert the two values. One will becomes 25 and another value is 75. So I will give again one choice and I will insert the 75, and now I want to display that tree. So you can see that 50 is having 25 as a small, so it is inserted to the left, and the 75 is greater, so it is inserted towards the right. Again we want to insert something. For example, if you want to insert 120 value and another value that now you can see the it is printed like node added to the left. So it is added to the left of what? 25, because it is less than 25. Same way we can, if we want to insert now 30, so now node is added to the right. Why right? As it is less than 50, so it should be on the left. It is on the left, but it is on the right of 25, because it is greater than 25, so we have added it on to the right of 25. So that's why it is mentioning that node added to the right, right? The next is, again we want to insert, for example, the 80, which is greater than 75, so it should be added to the right, correct? If I want to insert one more node like 60, then it will be get added to the left of 75, because it is less than 75. And last node, for example, I want to add, and that is nothing but the 100. So let's that it is added to the right of, definitely right of 80, right? Now I want to display my tree. So you can see here how the tree is displayed, right? 50 is your root node, then 25, 75. 20 is added to the left, 30 is added to the right of 25. Same way 60 is added to the left as it is small, 80 is added to the right of that, and again 100 is added to the right of 80. So in this way the tree is displayed very well here. Now third, that is we want to perform, right, minimum. So what is the mean value of trees now? 20. So you can see here, what is the minimum value in this whole tree? 20. That is nothing but the extreme left of the tree, and the extreme left is what? 20. So here we are putting the mean value of the tree is nothing but 20, right? Then what is the next? Next is height. We want to find out of the tree. So height is displayed. Height of the tree is 4. Yeah, definitely it is 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the height of the tree is 4. What is the next thing? Mirror of this tree, that we will do later. Before that we are going to execute the pre-order, in-order and post-order. Okay, so let's execute the pre-order. That is nothing but the choice 6. So this is what the pre-order. In the pre-order the root comes first. So you all know that root is 50. So 50. Then after root there should be a left child. So 25 is left, again 20 is left, then the right child 30. Again we are going toward the right child of the root 75, likewise. So this is what the pre-order traversal. If we are talking about the in-order, say 7 is my choice. Then now you can find out the difference between these two, right? So in order, now we are starting from left, root and then right. So left is 20 first. So extreme left we traverse first, then 25, then right, and then root node, then again all the right subtree. So this is the left subtree, this is the right subtree, and this is the root node. So in this way we are printing in order traversal. And the next one is post order. So this is what the post order. So you can also find out the difference between the post order. So initial is same, but here we have taken the 30 and then 25, because left node, then right node, left node, then right node, and then root node. So this is what the difference in between the post order traversal, right? Now all traversal are done. Now we'll say we have to do the mirror. Okay, if we want to do the mirror, so you can find out now how they are changed. Here 50 is same as a root node, but there is swapping in between the left and right child, right? So 25 is not now on the right side, and the 75 is on the left side. Same way their childs are also get swapped. The 20 is on the right now and 30 is on the left. 60 is on the right now and the 80 is on the left, and as well as 100 is on the left. And in the previously 100 should be on the right of the 80, right? But it is on the left now. So here the role of left and right child is get swapped. This is what we are calling it as a mirror node. And the number 9, that is nothing but we have to do the number of nodes in the longest path. So how many nodes is there in the longest path? So whatever the longest path is this. So in that one, that is 50, 75 and 80 and 100. So these are the 4 nodes that we are having in the longest path from the root, that is number of nodes is 4. Now last is searching operation we have to do, and if I am talking that I want to be search the 100, so what is the answer? We have to give the choice. For example, 5. Yeah, again the role is get swapped, right? And now for example, I want to be search an element. If we want to search an element 100, then yes, the element is found, 100 is found. Again, for example, if we want to execute the same search operation, and I must say I want to search out the 20, so again the element is found. And if I give any value which is not available over there, like 85 for example, the choice is 10, and the element to be searched is for example 85, then answer is element not found, right? So it is giving the correct way of searching. So according to this, all the operations that we have performed on the given tree, so we can see that how the operations are performed. And now for example, again if I want to add one more node, that is for example node I want to insert is 10. So node is inserted, and if I want to display the tree, so you can see how the tree is displayed like this, right? So correct way. And if I mention over here that now I want to find out the mean of that, so mean is now changed and it should be 10. So you can see that the minimum value that printing is nothing but 10, right? So if I am again, so in this way we are working over here with this BST, and all the operations are working fine. So this is what the thing that I want to explain, this BST. So it's working now. So with that we have finished this assignment of the binary search tree. There will be one more assignment, and we'll meet in the next session with that new assignment on the BST. So thank you a lot. Thank you very much.